Sam, don't be afraid. I will not leave you alone tomorrow. Let your hands talk in the ring.
What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt O'Ville with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Oleksandr Usyk. Get this. Oleksandr Usyk, according to Lucky Punch Net, says world champion Oleksandr Usyk on the WBO claims should undergo re-examination. This is what the WBO Championship Committee Chairman Luis Bautista Salas' letter to Usyk's lawyer John Hornver is all about. Quote, medical information should be detailed and comprehensive and confirm Mr. Usyk's current health condition, prognosis, approximate recovery time, and any other medical evidence that is deemed relevant. The committee cannot allow any further delay or uncertainty without a satisfactory explanation. Failure to comply with this requirement will leave the committee with no choice but to take appropriate actions according to the WBA rules and regulations. Arguments made in the petition supported by provided medical documents may now be questioned in light of these new developments. The visuals seem to contradict medical recommendations and the statement of Usyk's team with a request to suspend the negotiation period for the mandatory duel. We remind you, previously the organization sanctioned the Usyk-Parker duel. And let me counterpunch. I wonder what new evidence they were referring to. Maybe it's the dancing on the town that Usyk was doing with on stage, if you guys can remember, as Team Parker has recently discovered and pointed out that, hey, well, where is he injured at, you know? Now, I did have some comments because I do read the comments, and some said, well, it could be a finger injury. It could be. But the thing is, it's transparency needs to be shared. Okay, I think that's what the WBO wants. I think they need to know exactly what in the hell is wrong with Usyk that's stopping him from training and fighting is mandatory. Because he is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Now, I wouldn't imagine someone like Usyk that went through all that trouble, dropping the IBF belt, giving it to Danny Dubois, letting him borrow it for a while, you know, doing what he did with it, and then getting it back only to give up the WBO. I wouldn't see him doing that. There has to be a reason for you to get all those belts and then defend those belts. Because that's what it's about. It's about the next challenge and the next challenge. Because believe it or not, folks, believe it or not, in the heavyweight division, the undisputed titles were never defended, especially coming all together. They were never defended by Oleksandr Usyk. Now, the WBO, the IBF, and the WBA has, because he had those belts. So unified champion, he has defended those belts. Undefeated champion, it should be no different. Okay, now you'll get hate from this, but I only say things to make sense. I know the truth is very, very unpopular, but this is what it is. So the WBO chairman, they're like, hey, Mr. Salas is saying, well, hey, we need to see exactly what's going on with you, your prognosis, documents that's showing that, hey, this is the deal, and how long it's going to take you to heal. Bars. That's what they're saying, and it makes sense. Because what it is, it doesn't matter who you are and what you've done, really. You're not above the law. You're not above the rules and the regulations. Now, a lot of people point out that the IBF are too strict, but they don't say that about the WBO. So if the WBO is putting their foot down, I think it means something. Okay, it means that, hey, we're not labeled or known for being a sanctioning body that is that strict and stringent like the IBF. That being said, we're not those people, but we do follow rules and regulations too. And so if the WBO is making you do something, it means that they really want you to do it and it should be done. And I do think it should be done. And then that's the most logical thing you ask when you hear anybody injured. Where were they injured? And for those who said you let Joshua get away with a lot of things when he was injured, I asked the same questions. Where the fuck was he injured at? Where? And then it didn't make sense to me when it was answered the way it was answered. For example, Anthony Joshua, they said he has an upper body injury. What the hell does that mean? Upper body injury. That's not being very specific, is it? No, it's not. So why are we talking about that? That's exactly what I did. You just need to go back and the videos and look at the times that I criticized AJ like I'm criticizing Usyk. In my case, in my terminology, counterpunch these guys. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. I mean, he needs to come with documentation. Not saying that he is. If he's injured, they should have no problem with sharing that information to the WBO. Because if they have an issue with it, that means he's not injured. That means there's a problem producing that evidence. And if that's the case, you already know it's bullshit. You know what I mean? Because there's no reason that someone that professional in that camp with that Team Usyk, one of the most prestigious, most notable professional team that you have, right? They shouldn't have any problem producing this evidence or the documentation needed, asked or demanded rather, by the WBO. And there should be a time frame because that means they went to a doctor, got the prognosis, and the doctor has given them a window of time of how long that'll be. And that just makes sense. So, this is not a big problem unless it's a problem. You see what I'm saying? So I do think, if anything, Oleksandr Usyk and his team should provide to the WBO, or just drop the belt if you don't want to fight Joseph Parker that bad. And if you don't want to fight him and you end up fighting someone else less dangerous, people are going to call you a duck. And they should. But I don't think that's the case. But you guys tell me what you think about this new news concerning the WBO putting their foot down on Team Usyk. Give us the evidence, the time frame. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch.